Hello, welcome to Now Streaming Sports. That time of the week where we talk about one thing that puts us all on one table, that is sports, most especially football. And on this special edition today, I have in the studio someone who is wearing our national colors and want to fly the national flag for our country this morning in the person of Mr. Raphael Oja Okomo. Mr. Raphael is a sports commentator. Raphael, good morning and welcome to the show this
Good
morning.
morning. No, I'm wearing the jersey and hoping that they'll see me and call me to come and play for them because I'm tired of waiting for people to give me the good result. Let me go and get it by
Let's go
myself.
and get the result by yourself. All right, thank you. Hope that maybe if they not call you, they'll call your son or one of your relatives because your age now is no longer on your side. All right, so on the other side, we have someone joining us virtually all the way from Delta State, Comrade Abraham Suku. Comrade, good morning and welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Ebuka. Good morning, Mr. Raphael. I'm glad to join you guys this morning. Good morning to our viewers.
All right, thank you so much. Comrade is not wearing any jersey this morning, so he's neutral. He's going to be on both sides, both Nigerian side and Liverpool side, because I am wearing Liverpool jersey this morning. All right, so before we begin the discussion this morning, let's take a look at the front page of this Punch Sports Extra. And the story there on the Punch Sports Extra has the story on heartbreak. My heart has broken. Argentina 4, Nigeria 0. And it says there, the kicker says 4-goal hammering sends Flying Eagles packing in World Cup. All right, that story is on the front page and the main details on page 7 of the Punch Sports Extra. All right, so above the mass here we have the story on Napoli Lily under probe for fraud in Osimhen's deal. That's on page 6. It said Gala sues Turkish doctor for strikers' illness claims. Yakubu proud to be Nigerians EPL's top scorer. All right, that's on page 6. Page 6 also has a story on Birmingham boss eases fear over Osei Samuel's injury. Page 7 has a story on we never stopped believing. That's coming from Ekong. Ekong is the captain of the Super Eagles. Page 8 has a story on Ronaldo becomes first billionaire football. With 1.4 billion US dollar. That is what's current worth now, and he's the first ever billionaire football. Page 3 has a story on Baka accused of fraud in Malcolm's deal, and a sad one for Chelsea. It says Palmer out till November. That story is on page 4 of the Punch Sports Extra. All right, just below that we have the story on Greenwood picks Fernandez best teammate ever. Wow. That's on page 4. Page 5 has the story on Liverpool keen on 75 million euros Semayo's deal. All right, and page 2 has a story on the Tigers to battle Germany, France in World Cup qualifiers. Finally, on the Punch Sports Extra this morning, we have the story on page 2. Warren shuts door on Itamus Chisora's fight. All right, that's that on the front page of the Punch Sports Extra. But before we will talk about other stories, something happened just not too long ago, and some of us are still in shock after receiving 4 hefty hammering goals at the last game of the Under-20 World Cup in Chile 2025. And our viewers, remember you can send in your comment via the social media screen on your handle, or equally call in so we could hear your voice. So Raphael, how come? What happened?
First, I'll correct you by saying it's not the last game of the World Cup. There are serious people are still playing. Okay, now you have said it. Okay. Serious-minded countries are still playing.
Still in the competition.
You know, people like Colombia, people like Mexico, Argentina. People like Argentina. They are still in the competition. They are still playing.
Yeah.
You said I'm quoting you again. But I like when you say some of us are heartbroken. I like the part when you say some of us are heartbroken because I wasn't expecting much from this team anyway. If you ask me, I have to be very honest. Right from when they played the Chan and the B whatever from the qualifiers and all, you begin to look at the team and ask yourself, can this team go all the way? Can they? You know, Nigerians, what we like to do is we love these big competitions. We love to see our teams in these competitions. We think when they go for these competitions, it makes the competition complete. Without us, these tournaments are incomplete. But it's not true. It's not true. The World Cup, it's called World Cup. How many countries do you have in the world? Over 200 countries in the world. And you have just maybe 24, 32 countries playing these tournaments. Just like you have a Champions League and you have just maybe now with the group stage, you have now in the Champions League. It means, and if mind you, in the Champions League, they pick the best teams, not they pick, rather, the best teams that finished in their various leagues. And mind you, there are some other leagues too that even though the winners of those leagues, they won their leagues, they still don't qualify automatically for Champions League. They still have to go through the rigors of qualification because the standard of their league is not as those from maybe France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and what have you. So you need to still go through some rigors, like teams like Karabag that played in the qualifier. They won Kairat and all. They have to still play some qualifiers because they don't match this or that thing. Then when you play to those qualifiers and you are playing with the big boys, it's seen that, okay, you can stand with these guys, even though we still know that at the end of the day, you all end up at the bottom part of the table. The question is, what work have we done to deserve, first and foremost, a place in the World Cup? Then to come and say you are playing with the likes of, mind you, two of our games, the one that we drew and the one that we won, we won them by virtue of last minute penalties. Take away those penalties, we shouldn't be playing even with Argentina. Take away those penalties and we'll not be playing with Argentina. Excuse me. So we love this tournament. See the under 17 B Chan whatever qualification just to go for the Nations Cup, and we didn't even qualify. Automatically we're not going for the World Cup, which means for 2 years straight Nigeria will not be playing at the World Cup at the under 17 level. For a country that boasts the highest number of World Cup, will not be going for that tournament for 2 straight years. And then you now have the Super Eagles who are about to face the same fate. They didn't play at the last World Cup. And then you have your team who in 8 games drew 5 and winning just 2, losing 1. It shows you that the country is not serious about its footballing. The ladies, on the other hand, I don't know, God bless them. Somehow they've been the one holding us together and lifting our spirits, from the Super Falcons to the Tigress to under 20 to under 17. The under 20 ladies now, they are in Morocco now, preparing for the World Cup in Morocco. But you begin to ask yourself, that's why I was talking about this whole idea of competence. Instead of using what's it called, these offices to compensate, like Comrade Soko say, not Comrade Soko, rather the caller that called, that most of these offices, they use them to compensate people because they have served them for a while. Right? And one thing that brings Nigerians together is sport. You can have people who have fought. I know there was a time, I stand to be corrected, that there had to be a ceasefire between Nigeria and Biafra because a game was going to be played. That's the power of sports, power of football. And then you have incompetent people spearheading these positions. Now, the one who was handling the under 17, he was the same person that handled it the first time that we didn't qualify and go to anywhere from Nations Cup to World Cup. He's the same person that handled it again, but didn't go anywhere. Is he going to resign? No. Is he going to be fired? No. That's why I say we should celebrate that young man that resigned, because we don't resign in Nigeria. Now, Ali Zubairu has gathered these boys, like we used to say in our local parlance. He just gathered them based on inshallah. You just go there, something will happen. When you enter the knockout stage, some things, you just get your... No. God doesn't work that way. Even in the Bible, you say faith without work is dead. If you don't do enough work, you can't go and beat somebody who has been preparing for maybe 4 years. And then that would be unfair to those teams. So I was not heartbroken. I expected it. There's no drawing board to go back to, because they keep saying let's go back to the drawing board. Those boards are filled up. What they need to do is scrap that system and try to see what can be done to salvage the situation, because Nigeria used to be, I use the word used to be because we are nowhere again, used to be one of the top teams when it comes to age grade football. And you know one thing about age grade football, the moment you miss it at under 17, the moment you miss it at under 20, your name disappears from the face of footballing earth.
Exactly.
Nobody hears about you. Nobody, even from the people like Osimhen, Chukwueze, Iheanacho, Mikel Obi, Messi, and the likes, all came through the ranks of under 17. Do you understand me? But those who didn't qualify for those tournaments that were the same age with them, where are they today? So I think we got what we deserve.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Raphael. Comrade, we saw the under 20 team struggling. They struggled from their group stage at the group table where they played, and they came out third. And luckily, they proceeded to the round of 16. But in last match, they were knocked out. So let's have your review on this Chile 2025 under 20 World Cup in favor of Nigeria.
Okay, thank you very, very much. In Nigeria, we are very fond of saying that Nigeria has happened to me. That's a very popular saying in the street right now. But I would always want to add a caveat to this. I would always like to say that Nigerians are the ones happening to Nigeria. I think we have a problem as Nigerians. And I will tell you why I say that. Football Federation, that's our Football Federation, is supposed to run without the interference of the government. And it is so strict that if there's a perceived government interference in the administration of these federations, you are likely to be banned. So the point I'm trying to say now is that the people that are in charge of, that are supposed to be in charge of our federations are people that are supposed to be professionals. There are people that are supposed to, even if you play politics, there's politics everywhere. We cannot remove politics from the running of the federation. But even if you have played the politics and you have succeeded in being in the federation, what is stopping you from running independently, efficiently, and transparently? What is actually stopping you? Because you are not saying that okay, it's the government that is actually pulling you back now. You have great autonomy, you have great freedom. But we are seeing a situation where this is not translating into performance in our federations, both at the senior level and our age grade level, which is our under 20 category has fallen under. The reason why I'm saying this is because we have really had, in recent times, we have had this history of mediocrity. We are really falling off, because this is a tournament where we used to actually perform. We have been able to produce stars in the past. We have gotten to the semi-finals. I think we have gotten to the final at this level, the under 17, the under 20. We are still in a situation where we have been knocked out in the round of 16. Even qualification into the round of 16 was really, really poor. I saw the game against Argentina on Wednesday or so, and it was really the people on the pitch, the players on the pitch, they are not even able to do the basic things that professional footballers ought to do. The second goal, we actually got a foul. I want to analyze the second goal. We actually got a foul, so we are in possession. So the guy caught the ball and he passed it to the other guy in the midfield. This guy couldn't try the ball. The ball was intercepted before the pass could get to that particular person. So I was surprised. These are basic rules. These are basic things that a professional footballer ought to know. You are supposed to be able to understand the weight of your pass. You are supposed to be alert. But you see a situation where these players are not even able to do the basic things. As Mr. Raphael rightly said, even the qualification from the group stage, it was almost by luck. You understand? So to be honest, we are falling off, and that's why Nigerians are actually frustrated because in this age grade category, we have really done quite well in the past. We have been able to produce players, stars that have been able to represent us at the national level. So what is actually happening to our age grade football? That's the question. So I would also want to add a caveat here. And here, I think there's a problem with the selection process because I saw a report from South Africa. There was a player that I think he was playing on TikTok, just like in the ghetto. He was playing on TikTok, and they saw him, and he was the one that actually donned their number 10 JC in this tournament. Are you getting it? So I was really impressed with that. But when was the last time that our federation, the scouts, went into our grassroots? When was the last time that we discovered an upcoming rising star? Before Mikel Obi played for under 17, he was already making waves in Jos. People already knew that this guy is a star. Are you getting? And when he represented Nigeria, you know that it was not a federal character selection.
Talented selection.
So these are things that actually really need to improve for us to actually, as in, find our sport back in our age grade football. Thank you. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Comrade Abraham Soko. Raphael, I beg to ask, with the current state of things now in the Nigerian Football Federation and what have you, in line with the under 17s performance, under 20 performance, and the current performance of the Super Eagles team, what is the fifth of our footballing world in the next generation?
The fate of our football in the next generation lies in the hands of those who know what it takes to be in administration of football. And I don't think we have them at the moment. Because if we do have them at the moment, we'll not be in this Waterloo. We'll not be in this situation that we found ourselves. Starting from the Super Eagles down, even the Super Eagles that we're all looking at, the only way we can qualify for this World Cup, the only way I say this, it sounds crazy. The only way we can qualify for this World Cup if the other two teams, Benin Republic and South Africa, loses their two next games, or one of those two games. Because even in when you don't qualify as the top of your group, you qualify as one of the four best losers, right? Nigeria cannot qualify as the best loser because the highest point we can amass is 17 points. That's if we win the two games. The least right now is 18, and that's Cameroon. Cameroon has 18 points. Burkina Faso has 18 points. Madagascar 19 points. Gabon has 19 points. People like Congo can still get up to 19 points. Namibia can get 18 points. Uganda can get 18 points. South Africa, Niger, and all. So you ask yourself, is God that unfair to punish people who have been preparing? Some people will tell you grace. I don't believe in that school of thought for somebody who has really, really done a lot of work to now suffer at the end of the day. Yes, we want to watch the World Cup with Nigeria. The last time Nigeria went to a World Cup through this same grace, we were disgraced.
All right, thank you so much. Let's stick to this now, because we're still going to go through the World Cup qualification and we're going to discuss the groups. We'll discuss it group by groups. So I'll come to you again, Comrade Abraham Soko, because the question I ask is so depth that it's heavy on me, because if we had the persons like Mikel Obi transiting from one age group to another until he played for this the senior team, what is the fate of our footballing age grades in the next generation? If this current under 17 and under 20 are failing, what is the fate of the next Super Eagles team
abroad?
To be very, very honest, I don't think that you actually need a soothsayer to tell you that we are going to go downhill in terms of the Super Eagles, because if we are performing at this level in our age grade tournament, we are performing so mediocrely, I think that is going to really worsen. The luck that we are having right now is that some of our established players, they went through the right selection. They were actually picked. Like as I said, even before Mikel Obi appeared in our under 17, everybody knew that this guy was a star. So when he was selected, he was already making waves in the street of Jos. So it did not come as a surprise that this guy was talented and he had the talents. But what I would want to say at this point is that what we are having in Nigeria is not lack of talent. Let's not mistake. It's not lack of talent at all. What we are having is organization problems from our federation, problems with scouting. That's what we're having. So it's not lack of talent. It's about going and getting the right talent. Having gotten the right talent, it's about getting the right manager to actually manage these talents. Because if you look at our Super Eagles, I put it to you that amongst the teams that we have in Africa now, I think our Super Eagles, the present couple of Super Eagles players, they are the most exposed. They are playing at the most elite level. That is just the truth. The Fulham, which play regularly for at the EPL, for the EPL, we have three established Super Eagles players or Nigerian players in that team. We go to Sevilla. I think Sevilla has up to three Nigerian players. Villarreal, same thing. So we have players playing at the elite level. So the problem we have in our Super Eagles at that stage is problem of management and getting the right fit. But in our age grade sector and category, what we're having is a problem of selection and the problem of not probably getting the right fit of players. Because as I said, I watched the game against Argentina. These were players that were failing in the basic things that footballer have to. That they are like the basic things that a footballer and under 20 footballer should know. I played football for a very long time. I was really okay. I was decent. So I know these things. Are you getting it? So I'm talking both with experience and both from my eye gauge. They were failing at the basics. So we really need to question the selection at that stage, Mr. Ebuka. Thank you very much.
All right, comrade, I put it to you that you are an ex-footballer now. You are not footballer.
You don't hang boots. Now where I hang and now we don't know. Now where I hang and now we don't know.
Where you hang and now we don't know.
Sorry to add to that. There is no future. I have to be honest with you. There is no future. Look at your Super Eagles today. Your defense line has Bassi, Ekong, Benjamin Fredericks, Olaino, all who are trained not from Nigeria. We picked them from England, and it's because they could not make the teams abroad, England, Netherlands, and what have you, Germany. So that's why we've grabbed those on. Look at your midfield, Iwobi. I think Iwobi is the only one that we have there. Dele Bashir, of course, and what have you, trained again from abroad. Then you go to your attack. I think the only person we have in attack that is homegrown, not only person, rather some players we have homegrown there, Chukwueze, Osime, and then maybe Moses Simon, who I'm very sure they are winding down in their career. That's when it comes to the Super Eagles. But people like Ademola Lookman, we all know where he came from. Do you understand? Cyril Desas, we all know where he came from. Yeah. So when did we lose it? Like he mentioned, when he mentioned Mikel Obi, in that Mikel's team, right from the under 17, a few of them graduated to the under 20, and the team was beefed up with some other young players again who are talented. Mind you, Nigeria didn't qualify top of the group. I think we also qualified as best loser in that group with 4 points and went all the way to the final. But you could see that these guys knew what they were doing. They were playing as a team. Individually, they were talented. That same team went to the Olympics. Mind you, were defeated also by the same Argentina and Messi. That's to tell you that period, we had the transition. And don't forget, that same team graduated into the Super Eagles. And we had a lot of them playing the Super Eagles for a good number of years. Do you understand me? But for now, we don't even have an under 23 team. We don't. We don't have an under 20 team because these people, I don't know who they are. Under 17, I can't even list one person in that team.
You don't even know one person. All right. Thank you. Let's welcome Dr. Edesiri Izu. Dr. Edesiri Izu, thank you for joining us this morning virtually. And I want to find out from you, Doctor. We've been talking about the under 20 Chile World Cup 2025 in Chile, and we've also looked at the future of age grade football team in Nigeria. And I want to ask you, where did we get it wrong? Was it at the point of Samson Siasia, and when he now went, he was given a sanction and what have you, and up till now, I don't think Siasia discovered most of all these young people, elite footballers we've been celebrating since, and now he has been out of the show for a very long time now, and we've been struggling with it. What do you think about it? And let's also have your own view of what is the plan, or what is our faith for the next generation of footballers in Nigeria, homegrown.
I want to congratulate, unlike Comrade Soko and your Arsenal man there who is not patriotic, even though he's wearing our jersey. I want to congratulate the Flying Eagles of Nigeria for at least going past the group stage.
Okay.
Not easy.
It's not easy.
They have lost all 3 games disgracefully. But we didn't lose so much. we qualify for the. That's something to
be cheerful about, yeah.
And the ranking left our group. You know what it means to score? We scored in almost every game except this, the first and the last one. So that's some progress. Everything looks like they have been working.
I smell sarcasm. I smell sarcasm.
And let's even be honest. We didn't go for anybody. We lost to the mighty Argentina, whom we have never beaten tournaments. Even the Mikel, Chinedu, Buke, and the rest that Comrade Soko and the Arsenal man they are referencing, they still faced Argentina 3 times and lost all the times. So it's not the first time. They blame another record. So, but on a more serious note, I may align my thoughts with what they have said, though not as negative or pessimistic. But the truth is, again, we need to start looking at patterns. There is how were the teams selected? What were the antecedents before this tournament? How were the friendly matches? How many did they play? Now, in the tournament proper, they began with a defeat to Norway 1-0. It will interest to know that in the 4 games they played, they conceded in all 4. There was no one that they clean sheets. No one. They played Norway, lost 1-0. They played Saudi Arabia,
3-2.
narrowly won 3-2, 9-minute penalty. Played Colombia, they were also losing 1-0, the 9-minute penalty. And a wise man once said, attack may win you games, but defense will win you championships. So how was the team picked, that a team that played Norway, who are not very known for excellence at team level, at youth level, they lost. They kept conceding. So the defense was really a problem. When I mean defense, both goalkeeper and defensive, they're all the defensive unit. So even when you score and you don't have faith in the defense to at least help you win that, keep down 1-0. If you go to Portugal in 2016 Euros, they played 3 draws to qualify from the tournament, the group stage as best loser, and kept drawing to the final. Because Pepe was there. You know Pepe that time, that General Pepe, and you know him now. So how was the team selected? That is number 1. Who are the coaches? Like those the sons of Sceva asked the fake apostles. Say, Peter, I know. Paul, I know.
Paul, I know. Who are you?
What are the antecedents of these coaches before this tournament? Where have they shown? Do we pick coaches based on federal character? Now, I was referencing jokingly to Argentina beating us most time. It's usually 2-1. 2-1 at the World Championship.
Yes, on 2005.
At 2008 Beijing, it was 1-0.
1-0.
That team was the most targeted. They had Messi, they had Di Maria, they had Aguero.
Mascherano.
Riquelme was their captain. They had Mascherano. So for us to have lost that game just 1-0, we tried. And now we are losing 4. We are losing 4. So what I'm saying in essence is we have, again, sorry I'm talking so much as a physician, but I'm looking at patterns. When was the last time we went to age grade tournaments and excelled? Before, age grade tournament used to be our hobby. We used to win it. In fact, we have the highest record in under 17, right from 1985, 1993. we have been
2015, 2017.
Now, when we played before, they don't take out. So it's not the spirit of Samson. I will go out as before. Unfortunately, the people you are going to meet as before, they have done things that you did not do. They've shaved your head now. So look at it. So I wouldn't want to cry so much because again, no matter what we say, they will still do what they want to do. Like I said, how was the team picked? How did they get here? When last did we win the African Youth Championship comfortably? Not be semi-final, did they qualify? Best or fourth, all place. When last did we go to the African Union and dominate it and qualify? Now, to the issue of the future, I again align with Comrade Soko and my friend in the studio. Though I wouldn't say there's no future. You know, we are in a church-based channel, and faith is defined as the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things
not seen.
So even if you don't see it yet, the God that gave us the likes of Ademola Lukman, the like of Trust Lukman, and
yes, will never forsake us.
God is still present and He will continue to do it. Amen. So our future, that's our future. We are going to rely perpetually on that. I've told you before on this show. I apologize for looking like I'm being repetitive, but I've always told you there is no supply line here. Our own now, we are praying maybe another time Abraham will come. So in fact, our football administrators are more current with the development in England.
Yes,
trying to trace people's history. You know, which one is my man or in papa girlfriend and Nigerian, just trying to trace anyway just die.
You know, we get connection with his grandmother and a Nigerian.
Just snatch him and grab him and run with him. You know, so that is and that keeps, it's just like I said, when somebody is sick with a headache, with a fever, instead of treating the cause, you give paracetamol or he feels okay. And the next morning he goes again, say, God has done it. He falls it again the next 2 or 3 days. So the problem is, how many of these football administrators actually know football? Bring them to the studio, for example, and engage them. You will see that some of them actually don't know this thing. They don't know the tactics. Both from senior level to junior level. Why with somebody like Nigeria? They said they got Pereiro because Mourinho recommended him. The man took it to the final. You start him. You went to bring a George. And then from Finidi George, you saw how it went. You went to bring Eric. You are in a dire situation. You need somebody with proven. It's like a club looking for relegation. You will go and get some Allardyce.
Yes,
so
now.
The man has a pedigree. He rescuing almost relegated clubs. Now he went to bring Eric Chair, who his own country could not use. If he's that good, why is his country not using him? So that's where we are. And where we are. Where are we?
Doc, hold on a minute. I think let's now move from the under 20 review to the 2026 World Cup qualifier. And I'm still on you, but I want to get your input first. But let me just run down the standings on the some of the groups I have here that have qualified. I have Group A. Egypt has qualified and they've played 9 matches with 23 points. Burkina Faso is second with same 9 match, 18 points, and Sierra Leone is third. But let's leave that. I'll go to Group B. Group B, we have Senegal with 18 points and DR Congo with 16 points. That very group still has the possibility of both teams qualifying. Going to Group C, we have Group C where we have our own country, Nigeria, and we have first position, we have Benin Republic with 8 games and 14 points, South Africa with 8 games and 14 points, and our own Nigeria with 8 games and 11 points. Having in mind that South Africa just recently lost 3 points to Lesotho after fielding an ineligible player, and so that group is still very dicey. The first and second still able to qualify, still possibility of qualifying, and the third and fourth on maybe miracle, because Nigeria is 11 points and Rwanda is on 11 points also with the same number of games. Moving to Group D, we have teams like Cape Verde.
Cape Verde. My new
Cape
country.
Verde.
My new country.
Raphael, it looks like we're gonna apply for passport.
He say it looks like I say my new country.
Oh, your new. Okay, you've already applied for.
late,
okay, I'm behind you. After this show, I think I'll be going with you. All right. So Cape Verde is topping Group D with 9 games and 20 points, and Cameroon is second to Cape Verde with 9 games and 18 points. So having in mind that there is still a very good possibility of Cape Verde qualifying or Cameroon qualifying at the top of that group. All right, so moving to Group E, we have teams like we have Morocco. Morocco is already settled; they are already qualified. They've played 7 matches and they are 21 points on the table. And second to Morocco is Niger. Niger has played 7 games and they have 12 points already. And then Group F, we have Ivory Coast topping the team with 20 points and Gabon second with 19 points. Both have played 8 games, and those 2 teams still have the possibility of qualifying, and the rest on that group has been eliminated. I don't think they will qualify for any of the position, either first or second. Then Group G we have Algeria and Uganda is first and second, and both teams still have the possibility of qualifying. And Group H, we have Tunisia at the top of the table, who is already qualified, and Namibia second and possibly going to go up to the playoff. And then the game yesterday where we saw Ghana. Oh God, Ghana! It looks like their jollof rice is becoming sweeter. Now they are at the top of the table with 22 points. And they have second on that group, Madagascar, with 19 points, and both has played 9 games. Finally, the last ranking of runner-ups, where we have Gabon, we have Madagascar, we have Burkina Faso, and we have Cameroon. And Nigeria is not on that ranking for runner-ups. All right, so now let's get your overview of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, and what do you think concerning most of these groups I've made mention of? I know you would like to talk about your country, Nigeria. Doctor, I'm referring to you, but I also want to get your view on other group standings. Although we have few groups like Group A, where we have Egypt already qualified, we have Morocco in Group E who have also qualified. So let's get your rundown from all of it.
Oh, thank you very much. You see, 2 or 3 things pop out. Number one, the general picture of this qualifying group reminds me of the biblical David versus Goliath. You know, when Goliath was waiting for almost 40 days, I'm going to kill you, give me 1 man. And then David just came out and said, I'm going to destroy you. God will give you victory, will give me victory over you. And the small David defeated the Goliath. So while you guys were talking about Capo Verde, that's Cape Verde, and the rest of them, you seem to forget that even the Bible says God is not a respecter of persons, not a book face.
Yeah.
So you might be looking at the outer appearance, God is looking at the inward appearance. Now, that said, this round of qualifiers reminds me so much of the 2006 World Cup. Now, if you recall, in 2006, Africa had only 5 slots.
Yeah.
4 were debutants. 4 went to the World Cup for the very first time in their life. That's where you had countries like Togo,
Angola, even Ghana,
and go to the World Cup for the first time. So now, with 2 games to go, we have some very tiny countries, both in size and in football pedigree, like Benin Republic, Capo Verde,
Comoros,
on top of their, Comoros. So Comoros is 4th anyway, but they are doing fairly well. So it just shows that if you don't prepare yourself,
Doctor, please activate your video.
My video?
Yeah, you're not.
Okay, if you don't, okay. Can you see me now?
Yeah, we can see you. We can see you now. You can go on. Thank you.
Okay. You see, what I'm trying to say is, football is no longer played based on name. It is played on the pitch. Nobody cares how many titles you've won. Nobody cares how many stars you have. bring it on the pitch, otherwise you go home embarrassed. So I'm not surprised. Serious countries like Algeria, Morocco, Egypt have qualified. Even Ghana is as good as qualified.
And Tunisia.
Now, coming to Nigeria said, take it from me, Nigeria will not qualify. If Nigeria qualifies for this World Cup, that man that is wearing 96 JC, I will upgrade it.
What of my own?
Honest with you. Do you know why? Do you know why?
Why?
We have 2 games. We're on 11 points. Benin and South Africa are on 14 points each. South Africa just needs to win 1 game. 1. And they get to 17 points, which means even if we win our 2 games, once South Africa wins 1, they are out of our reach.
Yeah.
And it's South Africa playing. They are playing Lesotho
and Rwanda. Zimbabwe and Rwanda.
Zimbabwe and Rwanda, thank you. Now, you already know that they will play Zimbabwe at home.
At home.
Zimbabwe is their neighbor. Zimbabwe have nothing to gain. They have not won anything. So you already know that that game is as good as won. Of course, Rwanda are also fourth. They have nothing to gain. They are all the same WhatsApp group. So there is no way you will tell me that South Africa will play those 2 games and somehow lose both realistically, particularly when they are going to play at home. That's number 1. In the event that South Africa also loses both, on the unlikely event, I can tell you, Ebuka and everybody in that studio, none of you here can put 1 million and Nigeria will win their 2 games.
Against Benin and Lesotho.
It is one thing for your opponent to drop points. It's another thing for you to take advantage of that drop points.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we will not be where we are today. That the only people we have won is Rwanda with Inshallah in the 2 legs. That Nigeria could not beat Lesotho. Who did we play the other day that we were winning 1-0?
Zimbabwe.
Bringing in defenders to guide the game. And then ended up giving them the free gift. You can see that thing is haunting us. That last minute goal is haunting us 2 points. Otherwise, we would have been on 13 points for a start, and then to just be 1 point difference after FIFA did something for us. So the next thing I want to stress, if you what's the other point? Even if you don't get top position, maybe just maybe
second
second and go for the playoff. My brother, go and look at the playoff table currently in the ranking of best runner-ups. There are 4 positions. Of the 4 positions, the lowest there is already 18 points.
18 points with Cameroon and Burkina Faso.
11 points. Win the remaining 2 games 8-0, 8-0. The maximum we can still get is 6 points. 6 plus 11 is
17 points.
So the only thing can qualify for this World Cup is to pray that somehow South Africa loses their 2 games and then we win our 2 games because we are playing Benin in the last game at home. Now, who is the coach of Benin, people of God?
Our former coach.
Kenneth Roy.
Our former coach.
A man that qualifies Nigeria and we still have 2 games left.
Yeah.
Do you understand my point?
Yeah.
So he has extra motivation to show you for what you missed. So that's why I said the only hope we have. But I know that God is a Nigerian, and that's how we used to say to and he will not abandon us. I'm sure as an Anglican channel, maybe through our advocacy here, the primate can declare a fast, a national fast.
Dr. Izu,
prayers.
Dr. Izu, if you not arrest you, na small remain. If you not arrest you, na small remain.
Fast and pray for it. But in truth, forget it. This World Cup, as far as I'm concerned, is gone. Utilo is gone. And that I hope we have already started preparing for the next thing. Otherwise, this cycle continue. Nobody respects you because you are Nigeria. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. They respect you based on what you do on that day in the pitch. So that's what I just have to say. We are not going for this World Cup. I've made up my mind. I'm not. If we somehow do it too, I will fulfill my pledge. But if we don't do, I'm not sad because I already know the outcome. It's only people like Osimhen and Lukman that I feel for, because in their prime, it means they didn't test the World Cup. Trusecom is already on his way out. So, but I think it was at 2018 World Cup, I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, but the other players that are shining at their prime, the Simon Moses, the Lukman, the Ian Acho, and the rest of them, in their prime.
Ian Acho played at the World Cup. So
they would not tested the World Cup. So maybe in the future, when they are doing World Cup analysis, the studios will naturally want to bring somebody who has played at the World Cup. That means they cannot bring Osimhen and the rest. So that's what I want to say. I just wish you guys good luck. I'm not unpatriotic, but sometimes we have to say it as it is.
As it is.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Izu. All right, let me start from you here in the studio. Raphael, we have a very serious big tax just before us as a nation, Nigeria.
Please, I want you to rephrase that. When you say we, they add me.
Okay, sorry, you've moved to Cape Verde. I just forgot about that. All right, Nigeria has a very big task ahead of them or ahead of us, and just like Dr. Izu said, we will now be praying for South Africa to lose. And Benin, Benin will also bask on
bad prayer be that now.
Benin will also bask on the fact that South Africa has been deducted three points. And they will now feel the ginger to still
if you look at the table,
at the top of the table.
If both South Africa and Benin wins their remaining 2 games, Benin will most likely go to their first World Cup.
Yeah, one of the 2 games for Benin is Nigeria.
That's why I say if they win, it's not inevitable. The last time we played Benin in the World Cup qualifiers, we played them in the neutral ground, and they defeated Nigeria 2-1. So what makes you think they cannot come to Nigeria and beat Nigeria? Rwanda did it.
Okay, and the current coach of Benin Republic is the former coach of the Super Eagles. Now, so he knows the tactics of the Super Eagles.
The thing that people do that you can never get an explanation for is this: why was Kenneth Raw? I know what crying over spilled milk already. There's no need for that. But the question is, how do you throw away a man who wins you, qualifies you for tournaments, and you still have 2 games left? Which means if Raw was with Super Eagles right now, would have qualified. These next 2 games would just be dead rubber games. He did it at the last World Cup. Before we played Algeria, the last game that we were deducted 3 points, we had already qualified. Because this man even went to Zambia and got a win in Zambia. Got to Cameroon and got a draw in Cameroon. Every game we played in Nigeria was a win. Do you understand me? Now, you threw him off. And then who did you replace him with? Eguavon. And then Eguavon took the boys to the Nations Cup. And we were knocked out. We won all our group games. You would think Eguavon is the one that made them win those games. No.
It was the spirit of Gareth.
By the time Tunisia scored us in the knockout stage, there was no idea again for him. And then we left him. They brought Pesero based on Mourinho's what was it called? I nearly said prescription. Based on Mourinho's advice, we got Pesero. We cried and cried and cried. Pesero went all the way to the finals. The only issue we had with Pesero was that he was a very defensive-minded coach, which when we were playing in the finals, we expected him to go all out. This is the final. Do you understand me? After scoring, you sat back and then we soaked in the pressure. Before you knew it, 2 goals had gone in. And then you let him go for somebody who took you all the way to the finals. You didn't even give him any chance to qualify in the group in the first place, but he went all the way to the finals. And then you threw him off. It now took you months to get a coach. And of all your search, you ended up with who? Finidi George. What record does he have to prove that he can handle the same Super Eagles job that you threw away Gonetro for, you threw away Pesero for? You put Finidi George after mediocre performances for 4 games, you threw away Finidi George and went back to your old skin, Eguavon. Eguavon was watching Rwanda beating us and kept saying it's not possible, it's not possible. It's happening live and direct to you. And then, give us a coach. You went round. First, you lied that you have signed a particular coach. The coach came out and said, they didn't sign me. We don't have any deal. Blah, 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 blah. The next thing, you came up with another name again. The same man, another man came and said, no, we don't have any deal. I've not discussed anything with them. Nigerians wanted to have Renard. But no, you wanted somebody, I don't know what criteria, because they have been asked, which criteria did you use to pick Eric Shell? And nobody till date can say why, because Nigeria and Mali were in the same dilemma. So how did you think he was going to do better? But funny enough, I give it to Eric Shell because both Pesero drew our first 2 games in the World Cup qualifiers. Finidi did the same thing. The only person who has gotten us wins in this World Cup qualifier is Eric Shell. Eric Shell has played that many games.
2 games.
2 or 3 games. He has had 7 points. He won 2 and drew 1.
Okay, 3 games.
Do you understand me? So we have 7 points. So which means if he had played all those games, who knows? We will not be having this problem we're having today. But how long did it take? When they signed Finidi, instead of going straight and doing the work, he was busy looking for apartments where it's befitting for him to live, not knowing that he will not even last to even get the apartment where he will sleep. So I think we're in a point where it's beautiful to have Nigeria in the World Cup. You know, there's that joy where your country is represented, where the world is focused.
Our country is already there now.
Yeah, I know now. I say where your country. I was speaking very correct English. You know, where your country is well represented and everybody's happy.
Okay.
What Cape Verde needs now is just a draw. In fact, they were robbed yesterday. They were losing 3-1. By 70-something minutes, they scored 3-2. By 80-something minutes, they scored 3-3. By 90-something minutes, they scored 4-3. And because there is no VAR, they ruled out the last goal. For whatever reasons we don't know. I wish there was VAR. If not, Cape Verde would have qualified. But now what they need is go back home, get as much as demolish the team, whichever team that is coming there, because get a draw, and they are home and dry. For best loser, still Nigeria still can go because the slots are taken already.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Raphael. Comrade Abraham Soko, let's get your own view on this. While looking at the futures already, we have a game ahead of us: Nigeria versus Lesotho tomorrow at 5 p.m. West African time. What's your view of our current stand, Nigerians' current stand? Because some persons here are already taking or swifting and changing their nationality already because of lack of qualification for the last World Cup and now dilemma at hand right now. So let's get your view, review on the table, the stands, and against the match ahead of us against Lesotho.
Okay. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Ibuka. So I'm going to, most of what I want to say, both Dr. Izu and Mr. Raphael, they have extensively spoken about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would want to add a little input at this point. I would want to say that I'm actually rooting. I actually feel that will end up qualifying for this World Cup because they have the greater motivation at this point. They have not been to the World Cup before, so if they are able to qualify, it's going to be a debut World Cup for them. So I think I'm going to give it to them, despite the fact that they are, because judging by their performance, their last match, I think they won by 4 goals to nil. They are very, very motivated, and the docking of points by South Africa by FIFA. The CAF against South Africa, I think it actually favored them because if you look at the group now, they're actually topping the group with a better goal difference. I think they have a goal difference of 4, and South Africa have a goal difference of 3. So they're actually topping the group. So I see them actually qualifying. But what I would want to add at this point is that, yes, I agree with Mr. Raphael that judging by Eric Shell's performance, I don't think that he has done badly. But the reason why most of us, especially me, when Eric Shell was appointed, I was actually really, really livid. And the reason I was livid is because I don't think that he was the best at that particular time. Judging by his antecedents, I don't think that he was actually the best. And you know the funny thing that we're the situation we're facing now, I'm hearing that if Eric Shell is sacked, we're going to go back to Austin Egbova. So I don't know if we're actually moving forward as a country in terms of football is as far as football is concerned. And I would also want to add at this point, what is actually stopping us from getting a very good coach, a coach that has both the caliber and have the pedigree to actually improve our football and actually gel the talents that we have. What is stopping us? Is it money? Gone are the days where our NFF, they are crying over lack of funding and lack of funds, lack of funding and lack of money. As I said earlier in our last show, the budget for sports there for sports alone this year in 2025 is 78 billion. That's the budget, and that's enough, and that's just for this year. So, and that's enough to actually get a world class coach. But what is the NFL doing now? You are running a federation. You have minimal interference from the government. So what is actually stopping you? What's drawing you back? We also saw the debacle of the judge. You were appointed. You were relatively well paid. You were going about wanting searching for houses where you ought to have been working. So these are the problems we have as a country. So as I said, I don't want to talk much. All the analysis, all the permutations that have been done. The second place ranking is out of our reach. You see teams like Madagascar, they are already on 2 points or so. So I'm pessimistic, and I'm actually at this point in time, I feel that Bele has the motivation to go all the way. And I personally think that that's what is going to happen. Thank you, Mr. Ebuka.
All right, thank you so much. So, but before we leave you this morning, let's take your final word by getting your prediction on our next 2 games, because before we come again on this show, the 2 games we have been played. So we have the game against Lesotho tomorrow by 5 p.m. and the game against Benin on the 14th of October by 5 p.m. Let's get your predictions.
Okay, thank you very much. So, briefly, I would say that I think we will be able to overcome Lesotho. I think we will be able to come, despite the way the fact that we are playing away, we are going to win. My fear is the Benin match. I don't think that we'll be able to win Benin Republic because I feel that at that point, Benin will have that motivation. They are definitely going to win today. And when they face us, I think they will be motivated and are going to actually win us in Uyo or wherever we are playing that particular match. They have, at that point in time, I don't think they think that we will be motivated enough to actually want to pull a result. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So Rafiki, do you think are you thinking the same side with Comrade Abraham? He said we'll win Lesotho, but Benin is going to be a struggle.
That's where the problem lies. The problem lies with Benin, not Lesotho. We're going to get a point, our 3 points from Lesotho. But the problem where it lies, I just don't want to see a recurrent of what happened in Abuja, where we just needed a win against Ghana to go to the World Cup, and we drew. That draw felt like a loss, and we know the chaos that happened in Abuja Stadium. Mind you, this same thing happened in DR Congo. All they needed was a win, and they would have been far ahead of the team, Senegal. And all they will need now, maybe the 2 draws or 1 win, and they'll go to the World Cup also for the very first time after a very long time when they were named Zaire. I don't want the same thing to happen to you. I know we're going to get the points against Lesotho. I pray we win against Benin, so we don't have the same scenario happening a second time. They say lightning does not strike twice in the same place, but this time it's in Uyo. Maybe if you go strike for there. But I pray that they win the game.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Raphael. Dr. Izu, if you're there, can we get your own prediction? Because Raphael has picked that Lesotho will lose, but the fear is with Benin. But are you giving us a different view or a different prediction?
Oh yes, I just came from the mountain. Different prediction. Yes. I'm not as faithless as those 2 people there. So in the mountain, I want to tell you that if Nigeria does not qualify for this World Cup, you people are to blame, because it has been proved both statistically and empirically that anytime a certain somebody wears a particular jersey to the studio, it always loses. So you people have allowed him to wear our country's jersey.
It's not our citizen anymore. He's not our citizen anymore. He's not a Canadian.
So whatever happens, just know that it is your fault. It is your fault. And let it be the last. If I see you wear a rainbow,
that's the next jersey I'm coming.
That is the last.
You shouldn't have said that, but now that you have mentioned it, I will wait when you want to play.
But on a more serious, the way Comrade and Raf have been talking, it can't be like say Lesotho na throw away. You seem to forget that the same Lesotho scored you first at home, and you had to enter the spirit realm and try to salvage a draw, in our own home. So the way you are just throwing them away like we'll win them, it might shock you. Though I know we will win them, but not as comfortable as Comrade and Mr. Rafa. In fact, they are looking at that the Samson spirit will go out like before, we destroy Lesotho. But the way it is now, it's not how it's supposed to be. So let's not be too confident. If we win Lesotho whether 1-0 or 2-1, then that is fine. At least thank God Osimhen is now back with the team. The team now is Osimhen United. Without Osimhen, they can hardly score. And just like they said, Benin is going to be more of a tougher challenge, because if they win their next game, which I believe is against Rwanda, if I'm not mistaken, then that will put them on 17 points, and they can practically, just like Moses, see the promised land. And so that will give them extra motivation, not forgetting that in the first game we played, they beat us 2-1. So, and even in the other game that we played at home, we're not really comfortable on 1-2-0 and the rest. And like I said before, Genotro knows Nigeria. He knows these players. He knows how to cage them. So, but I see us beating Lesotho maybe 2-0 and then beating Benin maybe 2-1 or 1-0. Then let's just see what God does for us with South Africa and Benin in the other games. That's how I see it to But like I said, if it doesn't go that way, you already know who to blame. It's ACNN crew. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for making it to this show this morning. We're sincerely grateful to you, and we will pray that we'll have you in our subsequent shows again. Thank you, Comrade Abraham Soko. Thank you, Dr. Desiri Izu, and thank you, Mr. Raphael Ojao Komo. All right, viewers, that's where we draw the curtain for today. We hope you've enjoyed every bit of the show. I just want to tell you, dream and live your dream. And until we come your way again next week, remain blessed. Bye-bye.